Hello, 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 and welcome back to JenHannagans. If this is the first video that you're watching, this is a channel that my friend Hannah and I started. We started on WW Blue Plan in April of 2019, and it was freestyle back then, and we have been doing that ever since. I have lost 80 pounds, and Hannah has lost about 160 pounds. So we've done really well on this plan. So if you're new, welcome. And if you find that you like this video, then click like and comment and subscribe and all of those things. And we are happy to have you here. Today it is just myself, and I just kind of wanted to get on here and give a little quick update. I'm going to try at the end of this to put an Alfredo sauce recipe that I have created. Since I've updated my phone, everything's been kind of glitchy. Like some videos will have audio and others won't. So we'll just see if that works. But if it's not there, then you know why. In the background of this video, you're probably going to hear some kids screaming because I have 6 of those. So it's a snow day. So, I mean, what do you do, you know? So that's, I just wanted to get on here and get a quick update. I had tried Green Plan like a couple weeks ago, and I lasted for about a day and a half because, I will say Hannah's on WW still. I have started tracking on itrackbites just because it works better for my budget. But on itrackbites, I think that's green is like where you have to put you have to do a little formula, subtract or add 30% of your blue plan points to whatever. Anyway, better balance on itrackbites is WW Blue Plan. So that's what I was on. I changed over to green for a short amount of time. And I lasted about a day and a half. I did not like having to track chicken and eggs and all of the things that I enjoy so much. So, I have found that the thing that works for me with WW or itrackbites, whatever, is that, it just feels like normal eating to me. And I'm getting your notifications. Just if you hear it, don't, that's what that is. It feels like normal eating to me. And that is what I needed to be successful, is I had to feel like there were certain things I could just enjoy without having to worry so much about tracking them or what they were or whatever. And so that's why this works, is that it just feels, and if you want to eat certain things, you just make room for it in your points. And so that's what's worked for me. So Green Plan, with the only things being 0 points, were like your fruits and vegetables and like applesauce or whatever, just didn't work for me. It just felt like I was being too constrictive. So also since August, I have been tracking calories, because on the itrackbites app, you can track calories and bites or points at the same time. And so I was tracking calories, and it just has messed with my head. Like, I was just wanting to kind of see where I was. I didn't really have a real reason for doing that. I've been maintaining in order to get a skin removal surgery. So it wasn't even that I was like wondering, like not losing or whatever. It was just one of those things I just wanted to know. But it has seriously messed with my mind. Again, for the same reason that Green Plan did not work for me, is that it just has to feel normal. And tracking bites or points just seems so much easier and better for me, especially since on Blue Plan you don't have to track everything, than trying to track calories. So I will not go back to tracking calories. It just messes with my head, makes me too I don't know, obsessive maybe. So I'm just not going to do that anymore. I'm just being real with you guys. It just doesn't work for me. So I'm back to blue, which is better balance on itrackbites, and I'm happy with that. Like, I feel like from the very first day that I started back on it, and like, I just like without the calories, because I turned the calorie option off since I've had it on since August. And so I just feel so much freer, and I have noticed a difference on the scale already. I am, in the process of hoping to get approved for my surgery, so there's not any more reason for me to maintain. I'm going to start losing again. So I just feel so much better being on blue. So anyway, there's a scream. There's a child, like, probably beating another child up. It's fine. I do have my 14-year-old out there, and they are wrestling and all of that stuff. So it's probably not as bad as it sounds. Let me check it out real quick. All is well. Somebody was upset, but they're fine now. for the moment. So I also wanted to add in here some tips. There's just two things I was thinking about this morning. Number one is if you are trying to track calories, points, bites, whatever you're doing, and you have a high day or something that you've eaten that you probably shouldn't have, that has been a trigger for me to just stop tracking for the day or stop tracking for the week or whatever it may be. And I found that things just spiral out of control at that point. So if there happens to be a day where you're higher or a meal where you're higher, just track it. Track it anyway. I mean, I've had days where I've gotten up to like 100 points in a day. Like, I mean, that's just the way that it is. And I mean, of course that takes all of my weeklies and then some, but I felt like I still had more control, tracking that high thing. And then just to being honest with yourself, like being aware that, hey, this is what my day looks like now. This is kind of how this has impacted, my meal plan. It's just good to just track it anyway. We're all going to have days like that. The winter time has been difficult. It is snowy and there's pretty much nothing to do around the house other than eat. So, just track it anyway. Track it anyway. It'll give you a sense of control. You'll be honest with yourself. You'll be aware. And number two was kind of the same thing. If you are supposed to weigh on a day that, like you say, you weigh on Fridays and you know that Wednesday and Thursday you ate way too much. It's so easy, and I've done these things in the past. This is why I'm telling you, is that it's so easy to just not weigh on Friday because you know that it's going to be high and you don't want to see that on the scale. And I have done that several times where I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to push weigh in a day off, or I'm just going to weigh next week. And really, I find that it's just more detrimental. If I go to the scale with the mindset of, hey, I know that these last 2 days have been high. I know that I haven't done well. I know that there's going to be an increase on the scale, probably from sodium, normally is the salt, and water retention. And so I know that those things are going to happen, and just go for it. Like, hey, this is what it is. This is a temporary situation. I'm going to fix this. You tend to do better by just knowing what that number is. And that way it doesn't get to the point where 2 months down the line, you're finally weighing and all of a sudden you're 20 pounds up because you just have avoided weighing. And how many times has that happened? Like, I have started on an eating plan in the past, and then 3 months goes by and all of a sudden I've gained 30 pounds because I've avoided the scale. So don't get into the habit of avoiding the scale. Now, if you know that you've been on vacation, or if you know that something's going to go a certain way, maybe put it in your calendar. I'm going to weigh on this day instead. I feel like that's, if you approach it correctly, that can be okay. But if it's just one of those things where I just don't want to know, or maybe it messes with your head. It's just a way of like, hey, before I get on the scale, I know this, I'm aware of this. And so I just find that that is more helpful to go with it, like realistically, but in a positive way, not letting it like completely just ruin you. And just knowing that, hey, I did eat like junk. Of course my body is going to respond this way. So I say don't avoid the scale. I say do that weekly weigh-in. And I say that because I'm talking to myself. I've just found for myself it has been detrimental for me not to weigh because it just gets easier not to. So just try that out and just go with it with like a positive, like, hey, you know what? Of course, this is something that's going to happen. It's not permanent. It's a temporary situation. So, and just kind of coming to acceptance that we're going to fail sometimes. We're going to do miserably sometimes. We are not perfect people, and we are not going to stay on this like perfect plan all of the time. And so just to know that and accept that we are not perfect, and it's never going to look like we expect it to. I know so many times you might have a bad day. I've done this a million times where you just eaten badly or let a bad meal completely take you off for the rest of the day or the rest of the week or whatever it is. We need to come to terms like, hey, my lunch was like pizza and breadsticks. Like, you know, for supper, I'm going to be a little bit better than that. And so instead of waiting till like, oh, tomorrow I'll do better, or the next week I'll do better, choose to do better for the next meal. So anyway, those are just some things I've been thinking about. I'm going to see if I can get that Alfredo sauce video to load. I am going to, we do the Alfredo sauce with, I'll just tell you now in case it doesn't work. 2 tables for a single serving, it's 2 tablespoons of cream cheese and a fourth a cup of almond milk. And you can also add some Greek yogurt in there if you want it to be a little bit more, or I find that the 2 tablespoons and the fourth cup of almond milk tends to be enough. I don't normally eat it over pasta. You can. I normally just put it over chicken and bell pepper and onions, and then you can put that whole thing over pasta. It would be delicious. If you're using unsweetened almond milk, you can use quite a bit of it. And I don't know if you guys cook with almond milk, but it tends to make everything that I make much thicker. Like as you cook it, it just thickens everything up. I don't know. I don't know why that is, but that's just what it seems to do. So if you whisk all of that together and then you heat it up, that almond milk will start to thicken, and it just makes a really, really great sauce. So there's a couple ways you can do that. You can just leave out the almond milk and just use Greek yogurt. Just make sure you whisk it really well inside, probably before you put it on the heat. And also you could use, you could do any variation of the whipped cream cheese, Greek yogurt, almond milk combination, and then just add some garlic and maybe some Italian seasoning. I found that garlic is plenty. And so it's just really fantastic. And it's super low points if you're on Blue or iTrack Better Balance. You can use the Greek yogurt for free. Almond milk is about 30 calories per cup if you're using unsweetened. And I think it comes out to 1 point per cup. So that's a lot of milk for that amount of points. So there's just a lot of different variations you can do. Just play with that and see. So anyway, I think that is it for today. I probably won't film an outro after the almond milk, whipped cream cheese, Greek yogurt Alfredo. So this will be it. So this will be the it. If you like this video, then click like and subscribe and comment and just say hello. Just pop in and say hi. Also, you can join us over on Facebook. We have a Facebook group called, or page called JenHannagans. And it's just JenHannagans. There's no W. So, that is it. That's all. There is a link in the comments for Hannah's, WW free month. You can also join itrackbites if you are cheap like myself. And that is it. We will see you next time. Okay, so you're going to see a bunch of creamer back there that we haven't put away. And other things. We had our church service here this morning. So, I'm a mess. Hold on. We had our church service here this morning. And so we had some snacks and some creamer, some fun creamer. Hold on, coming back. You guys got a nice one. See how bad that really is. No, that's not too bad. Okay, so I have almond milk. I have just the unsweetened original, which is 30 calories per cup, so it's fantastic. I have the whipped cream cheese. There are several ways that I have done this, and you can do Greek yogurt with whipped cream cheese and milk. You can do just Greek yogurt and almond milk if you want to keep it really low point. You don't use a ton of either item, so it doesn't really, it's about 2 points per serving. So I'm going to make 2 servings today. You could make this for your whole family, use a couple cups of this, the whole thing of this, and then just add in some garlic powder. Super easy. I just whisk it all together, heat it up. And so today I am making 2 servings because Hannah and I are eating that. My family is, they have already eaten lunch. So we're going to do this for us. We're doing peppers, onions, and chicken. And then I'm just gonna cook it all up. And you guys will see that in a second. I decided to use some Greek yogurt this time because I feel like I was gonna need more for this amount of chicken, and I didn't want to add the points. So I did 42 grams of whipped cream cheese, which is 4 tablespoons. I did about 1/3 of a cup of the Greek yogurt, and then I'm going to, this says 240 milliliters is 1 cup, and I think that that's like 1 point. So I'm gonna do, let's see. I'm gonna start out with 60. This will be 1/4 of a cup, and see if that is gonna be enough liquid, which I think that it will be. So that would be 1/4 of a cup of almond milk, and so this is what it looks like. And then as it's cooking, and I'll mix this up and then put it in the sauce. I mean, put it in the chicken. I'm cooking the chicken now. I try to cook the chicken halfway, and then I add my peppers and onions, and then I add the stuff for the sauce. And so if you feel like it's too thick as I'm cooking it, I will just add more almond milk. But this is more like a coating for everything than it is like a really drizzly sauce. So if you want more liquidy sauce, then just add either Greek yogurt or almond milk, and you're going to still keep your points low. We just like it to be a little bit thicker. What I like about almond milk, and I don't know if you guys have all seen this, but if I cook with this, I feel like things do tend to thicken up a little bit more, and that works well for me. A little trick that I learned when I worked at West of Italy with Montreal steak seasoning. We used it on everything. So I sprinkled that onto my chicken along with a little bit of Italian seasoning. You can add garlic if you want, but I feel like I don't have enough, so. Just make sure you coat that really nicely and then let some of this liquid cook out, and then it will be absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna let that simmer, and then I am going to make some garlic bread to go with it. I won't show you guys all of this, but, okay, so I'm going to take these sandwich thins. I believe they're 3 points a piece. I'm going to spray it with some olive oil and top it with some of this fat-free mozzarella. You can see how it goes. Normally I would just do this and the olive oil spray and then sprinkle it with garlic, but which I will do. So this olive oil spray, sprinkle with garlic, add your cheese if you want. You can just make a regular garlic bread, and then I'm gonna put it in the air fryer and toast it, and it's normally perfection. Now don't believe that I've cooked with this, so we'll see. I know to eat it cold is disgusting, which I love to eat mozzarella cheese cold, so this is kind of gross to me, but maybe cooked it'll be better, and then we'll see. So here it is. It is just 2 points for this and then 3 points for this. Of course, this did not melt that well, but okay, whatever. But anyway, this is really, really, really delicious. I wanted to add super quick that mozzarella cheese does not melt well, which I think is kind of a common knowledge, but it does work nicely if you sprinkle it in something hot, like if you're sprinkling it into the sauce or into the chicken. That worked out really well. It melts nicely actually like that. It just doesn't melt nicely if you're like baking it. So anyway, that is all. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.